we know very well that every soul here does not necessarily have the hand of God working through their life. Is it possible that the parents of a child or the mother can determine or alter or remove or distort the fingerprint of God on a baby's life? My work is in womb protection, before, during, and after, and also identity protection and dream protection. I think I already did make a video that was going along with what I had written in conversation with God about this, but I have more space on my phone now, and now I'm going to read it exactly how I had it written, which is how it should be read. How do we get so far away from God? Why do we live in a godless world? When we get away from nature, science is meant to support Mother Nature, not control her, not to make money off her, not to deny her. Science is the father aspect of God. God has science. Just because you have not proved it doesn't mean it isn't real. Science tells you that you cannot see higher frequency light, and everything you see is because of light. There's more going on than meets the eye. God is not limited to your vision. Everyone is off when your rights are taken away and no one wants to be controlled. But sometimes we need to look within and ask the self, am I trying to control nature? Nature is her. Mother Nature. You are hijacking God and hijacking destinies. When a mother chooses to have a C-section or induce her child early, or at all, for no reason, no medical complications, simply a choice of free will or otherwise convenience, you are already hijacking that child's destiny. You are already taking control over something that is not yours and making it about you and to fit your convenience. Some women do this by choice, and others are having this happen and done to them without giving the mother a choice, stealing from their child, taking control of God's timing. God knows when the soul needs to come here. The very second a child is born into this world determines the path of the child. Their entire map is laid out the second that you confirm their name, their Christed name. Not only legal name, their destiny is decided. It is an agreement with God. It is a contract that you make with that soul, a commitment. If you were going to make a commitment with someone, would you not want them to have the best intentions for you? If it's a lover or a business partner, or would you want them to take control and ignore you? Would you make a contract with someone that you knew was going to leave God out of it and do what is best for themselves while neglecting your needs? Or as they take advantage of your kindness? Would you want someone to do that to you? Then why are you doing that to yourself, to your future, to the child's future? If there's anything I have learned in my time here, it is that not all convenience, but most convenience is horribly expensive. It isn't about the money. It's a price that most of us cannot afford. The implications last generations. It isn't about costing money. It is costing dreams. Everyone is trying to figure out what they came here to do. Lost and lonely, feeling like they don't belong, trying to find their purpose in their business and working at the wrong places in the wrong relationships and marriages. It is because their destiny was hijacked. There are many different ways that can happen. This is not only about the C-sections and the way that the child is birthed, but this is where it can begin. This can happen all throughout life. If only they had God and trusted God's timing, God's will, would they find themselves right where they need to be, when they need to be, and become everything they came here to be. This right here, if I'm holding this in my hand, I have control over this. I have control over whether or not this falls. But if I set this down and I place the time of my child's birth in somebody else's hands, it's not in my hands anymore. I no longer have control over what happens to this once I set it down. Once I put it in somebody else's hands. God knows when a soul needs to come here. Number 2, some women are having children to prove they are a better parent than their mother or their father, or to feel love that they have not yet found within themselves first. I have had mothers who are stuck and waiting. There is something else that they need to integrate or learn or understand or process or release. There are a lot of different reasons. This is between each individual and the Most High. Sometimes women are sent to me or to discover or to reveal what that is. Sometimes the child is, or the parent is holding on to maybe resentment or pain or something. There's something that they're still holding on to that needs to be let go of, or there's something that they still have not yet learned that is a part of that child's destiny. If we are holding on to resentment and pain, and it's not a part of that child's destiny, because what is within us is what is passed on to the child. If there's something within us that needs to be let go of before that child is birthed into this world, then it isn't time. And this gets into cycles also. I'm not going to get deep into that into this video right now, but also things that we need to learn. Things that need to be set in place, because a lot of these mothers and parents that I work with are financially stable and set and married, and they have friends and family and support. They seem to have all the support that they need. And everyone around them has had their children, but sometimes they feel left out because it's not time yet. And when it is time, that will be revealed if it is meant to be revealed to you. Also, if there is something in particular that needs to be worked through. Sometimes God wants to make sure God is involved, that you are not having a child from a wounded place, and that your heart is prepared for the heart that you are going to birth. You may very well be doing better than your parents were emotionally or financially, but have you forgiven your own parents? There are 2 really important points to complete this message. This is not only for creation and bringing new souls into this world. This isn't all of creation. This is our dreams. However, of course, yes, we are specifically talking about the roots of childbirth. When we feel we are prepared, and as I was talking earlier, saying, I'm ready. I have people who are sent to me who are saying I have the backup, the support, financially, I have everything I need, and it's still not happening. And are very distraught about it. Sometimes this requires a shift in perspective, but not only a shift of perspective, but a shift in intention. What happens when we are trying to fulfill our own vision? God will say, right, in your eyes you're ready, but there's still something you need to gain or to learn or to know or to release or to let go, especially when it comes down to the fruits of the Spirit. This is what the Orca oil is based on, are the fruits of the Spirit. And it comes down to our womb. This is where we gain these fruits. This is what it comes down to. We want to carry these fruits within our spirit, because that's what we're going to pass down to the children and in all of our creations. The children and our creations, just like a soulmate, is not meant to fulfill some type of emptiness within us. So sometimes when it is not happening, God will say, yeah, in your eyes you're ready, but you're not doing it this isn't about your vision. It's about God's vision. It's about the child's destiny. It's about preparing for the destiny of that soul or of that creation we are bringing into this world. If you are waiting for a soulmate or a God-ordained person or something to come into your life to fulfill you or to complete you, then we already know the intentions of, because we're not doing it to, the idea is to be whole and complete within, to be a match for that God ordained person or our creations to be a part of our life. The second part of this message is, if you had already changed your child's birth time, if it was 50 years ago or 20 years ago or 2 days ago, you are not to feel guilt or regret or blame or shame for making that decision. Prior to now, we were in the tail of the dragon, and a lot collectively, unconscious choices and marriages and relationships and childbirth, etc. Now we have entered the head of the dragon, where we are conscious. Life is all about what we don't know until we know it. So if you were not aware and understanding God's timing prior to now, you are not to feel bad about it. That was worked around and resolved for and taken care of. But now it is about making conscious choices from here on forward. The children who are coming into this world are and have been highly conscious, highly awake, highly aware. They are not meant to go back to sleep. So every person and every parent is being prepared for their creations in the way that they need to be prepared for them. Now we know to trust God's timing. It is not at all what you didn't know then. It is what you do with what is given to you now. When I say that I have been through extensive training in understanding identity and destiny and the work in the womb, in creation and birth, and birthing all of creation, down to the core, down to the very root. When we change that, God's science and nature, and go against it, it takes us off the map of God's will. And this is a big, big part of my work. So this is why we want to keep onto our identity. When God gives us something, our businesses has a name, it has a destiny, it has an identity. When we are given something, we want to keep it in God's will. We don't want to sit it down and put it in somebody else's hands just because we can't see what's going to happen with it.